The Three Blind Mice, Lee of Time Rider's Wee Little Cars, George of Hodge's Hot Wheels and Diecast, and Paul of Fat Guy Productions are hosting another invitational this month. This time it's the Hot Wheels Aston Martin 177 that you see there. According to Wikipedia, only 77 of the actual car were made, and I'm pretty sure Hot Wheels has made a lot more of these castings than the actual car. And heck, from the looks of it, about a third of that actual number are being customized this month in the build-off. So let's see what we can do with it. It's a metal body, plastic base, plastic interior naturally. One post at the back. That front grille area actually pushes through an opening in the front, and that's what keeps the casting together. I'm not doing any butchering of the casting this month, so I keep that post, and I used a self-tapping screw to hold it together. Now, I had done some research on the internet. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with this, but I saw one of the 77 was a matte black color with copper accents, with copper stripes. And I really like the look of that. So I thought I'd give it a shot. And I thought, oh, heck, I'll just, print up some copper decals. Well, we'll get to how that went south on me later. Totally because of my own stupidity. But got the casting ready, and it was surprising. There were odd little chunks sticking out here and there. There was just a lot of, for lack of a better term, flashing on this thing that needed to be cleaned up. And, there were some panel lines, casting lines, the usual kind of stuff. But for what looked like a really smooth casting to start off with, it wasn't all that smooth. But I got it ready, and I love the Scotch-Brite pad, so I used that to clean up the end of it. And at this point, I'd already stripped it with Citrus Strip, and from here it was off to gloss black paint, because again, I was going to put decals on it, and it's always been my understanding that it's best to put decals on gloss, that they look better. You don't get any silvering, apparently. Got rid of the stupid nubs under the tires because I was going to do a wheel swap. And I thought I was going to be dropping it a little bit lower, not dramatically. But the wheels I'm swapping it with do seem to sit a little bit lower. Now, I've had these Creato Exotic Series wheels for a while, pretty much since I started. There you see them. And I really like the looks. I wanted to change the wheels, and obviously, there's some wheels you can't put on this thing. They're just going to look wrong. I'm not going to throw Kragers on an Aston Martin. So, and I haven't had a lot of use for that Exotic Series as it was. So, anyhow, while the casting itself is off getting gloss black applied to it and stuff, I fully committed to the copper color. And, copper, bronze kind of coloring. So I didn't have any real copper paint, but I had this bronze Sharpie. So I painted the inserts to the seats with the bronze Sharpie, and I used a little brush to help, get it a little neater in there. And then I wanted to bring out some of the details, but I didn't want to get carried away with paint. So I thought that Tamiya weathering powders would be a natural way to go to bring out some of the detail. The interior was pretty well detailed. To bring that out without being too, bold. And then I had to hit it with the Citadel Nuln Oil because tradition. Besides, the copper on the seats was just a little too shiny, and the Nuln Oil helped to deaden that a little. Even though I do go over this with a Rust-Oleum matte clear just to seal in the weathering powder. And also on the front grille, I didn't want a chrome grille, but I also didn't want it to disappear. And so looking again at the reference photos that I found on the internet, you could tell a difference in the grille from the rest of the body of the car. It wasn't just black or gray. So again, the weathering powders came in really handy to bring out some detail on the grille. And you'll see it in the finished product here. And again, I seal this with a matte clear paint. But it seemed to be just enough. And there's the Sharpie Brown's paint pen. And so all I do is on all four wheels, and naturally these have these stupid little holes that I tried to do them as best as I could with the pin. It worked out pretty well. And I just, did the bronze as much as possible. And then I used the Molotow pen off camera once these dried to put the chrome lip back on the wheel. Not that I really got rid of it when I was doing this, but it needed to be sharpened because obviously there was some overpainting on these. Then it was gauzy time. Even though the glass was brand new and nice and shiny. Again, tradition. And I'm trying to support the fellowship of the gauzy out there. All of those of you who have your shot glasses ready on each one of my builds. Oh, the drinking game continues. So cover that up for safety. Keep the little fuzz in the air from landing on it. And then the decals didn't work. And I was stupid. What I did, and I also found out that when the battery dies as you're recording something, as I was doing on the decals, it doesn't save it. My camera for this isn't apparently smart enough to go, hey, the battery's dying, I think I'll save what I have and shut down. It just shuts down and loses the footage. So I lost that, but it's just as well because all you'd see is hear is a lot of kicking and screaming and swearing. The bronze decals, when I put them on the black paint, disappeared. I don't have the Ghost White toner cartridge yet to do a white background to them, or to do a 2-layer where I could have put down a white decal at first in the same width and then do the copper decal over it. The decals turned out beautifully. I tried sticking them on white plastic and they look great. But they just vanished on here. I could have done a lot of things thinking about it later. I could have put down this paint first and then put the decals over it. But I was stupid and angry and frustrated, and you know how that goes. So I didn't have, and I was fully committed to copper at this point. And so I do have the Sharpie bronze pen. So I tried doing that, and you'll see me do that with the pen here. I also then used it on the pellet, taking the paint off the pen and brushing it on. And I did multiple layers of this. After I did it once, I then put a matte clear, since the body is going matte. Put a second coat of the copper, and copper is just a bear to work with. There's apparently like a black base in the color somehow of the copper. To be honest with you, I'm not sure how the hell it works. But even brushing it, I'd still get like and airbrushing would be the way to go on this. And even though Eddie was kind enough to give me an airbrush, I haven't used it yet. I'm not set up to do it. But I will hopefully be here in the not too distant future. But copper's just a bear. So the paint pen worked out okay. And what's interesting about the copper too is, like, there's some areas on the hood where when you see a shadow almost, or a detail line on the hood, it almost, if you hit it at the right angle, it looks fine. It looks copper. You hit it at another angle and it looks black. So I can't say I'm thrilled with the end result, but I gave it a decent shot, I think. And God willing, you guys like it. If not, no, I gave it a good shot. And then I've learned about painting copper, and I've learned something about decals. I do have to say that the decals I printed were really nice. They came off of the decal paper great. I mean, I'm looking forward to doing decals in the future, ones that I've printed myself. Really looking forward to that. So anyhow, yeah, this was an adventure. I'd like to take a moment at this point while you're looking at that to, again, thank the Three Blind Mice for doing these builds. And be sure and check out their videos. I'll put links to the Three Blind Mice Diecast channel down below. They'll do a recap of all the videos. Check out all the other builders. I'm really curious what other designs and colors we're going to see. So thanks again to the Three Blind Mice. There you see one of the shadows on the hood. You see it looks copper, and then you tilt it, and it just shifts black. See? The paint I'm using on the headlights is new for me. I thought I'd try Vallejo USAF light gray, U.S. Air Force. Light gray seemed to be a nice color to give a shot, as opposed to trying to mix up something on my own. And I happen to have that handy. So there it is with the headlights painted in. You can't really see the red of the brake light in the back panel, but it's there. And you can see the matte finish on the car. I don't know, there's something about this car that I really like the matte finish on. For me, it didn't seem like one I could do, say, in a lime ice green, like I've done, Lord knows, way too many lime ice green paint jobs. It may look great. I don't know. My gut told me it just wasn't the way for me to go on this one. So yeah, I had a few brain farts on this build. And fortunately, the wheels just slide right in. That once I remembered they slide right in, I did try and force them in before that. That's why there was an edit there. I cut out one of the brain farts and didn't make you suffer through it. You can see the kind of silvering on the front grill from the weathering powder. You'll get a better look at that here in a second. The wheels are great. I do have to say the Criado wheels are nice. I just haven't found the opportunity to use them, just not the right vehicles that they seemed appropriate. So I recall they were rather expensive too, wheels. I'm pretty damn cheap when it comes to doing these things, and these wheels I've had for a little while, and I'm glad I found a use for them. They're 4 sets to a pack, so anyhow, there you have a top view of it. Here's where we started. And to be honest with you, I don't really like that red that much. There's something about it that just, I don't know, it isn't appealing to me. It just doesn't seem right. But yeah, to each his own. I'm sure some people love it. Wouldn't mind having the car, that's for sure. But here's what I did with it. You can see that weathering powder on the front grille. Yeah, the copper stripes just look like crap at certain angles, and I apologize for that. I am thrilled with how the wheels turned out. That's kind of what I had in mind. So it looks lower and meaner to me. But I don't know. You probably either love it or hate it. Here's a couple glamour shots. And thanks again. Three Blind Mice throwing this one out there. Lord only knows what designs and colors, and I'm really anxious to see what all the other builders did. So thanks for watching this video. Special thanks out to my Patreon members. Thanks to everyone for putting up with these videos, and thanks to everyone that comes along for the ride. It's a lot of fun doing these. If you're not doing them, you're missing out. You really should give it a shot. Even try a wheel swap or something, just to start out. Everybody stay safe and healthy out there. Catch you in the next one.